Hello everyone, welcome to episode 21 of the Dark Souls 3 New Guy walkthrough. So, this is going to be the last episode of the walkthrough proper, because I have not played the Ring City DLC at all. So, I can't really call it a walkthrough if I don't know what the hell I'm doing, right? So, the last couple of episodes, it might be 2 or 3, maybe even 4, depending on how much I die, are going to be a let's play style. Basically, it's just going to be me playing with some live audio commentary, and hopefully that'll be a little bit of a treat for you guys if you want to watch me struggle in the ways that you probably have, because I have no knowledge of these areas. I've never played them. I've been complete media blackout on them. Actually, it was a lot easier than I thought it would be to not see anything about that. So basically right now I'm just jumping down to get the follower's javelin. So once you get to here, you should recognize pretty much where you are. And not the javelin, the saber. Follower saber. So we're gonna go get the follower's saber. And this time we're not going to die, right? Right? Shake your head up and down. So you go up here and it's over to the right. And that's it right there. So that's the follower's saber. It is actually a lot easier to get than I thought it was. Because you don't actually have to fight anybody to get it. So just gotta avoid these stupid arrows. So as you noticed, I've changed into the Dragon Slayer armor, and I think that'll probably help me with taking a little less damage. And, yeah. I don't even know why I'm fighting this guy. I should probably just not. Because it's clearly not going well. Especially now that there's stupid arrows coming at me. Yeah, I guess I'll be stubborn today. Try to parry him, I guess. I don't know what the hell I was thinking. I think I was just mad at him for the first time of killing me. I just wanted a little bit of revenge, but I got over that because we got the rest of this walkthrough to do. So after you beat the champion grave tender, you're gonna want to go to the rope bridge cave or the Ariandel chapel bonfire. Either one will work for what you need. Basically, right next to the cave, to the left of the rope bridge, is a little tiny ladder that's super easy to miss, and that's going to get you to where you need to be. So honestly, you probably don't want to go into the chapel, because then you have to cross the bridge still. Now I'm just checking in on my my equipment. I'm going to change that from that to, yeah. Yeah, I guess that looks pretty good. I guess we'll see in a minute, though. So, pretty much, you'll notice throughout this play that I keep switching the playthrough, or this whole walkthrough. I switched from the barbed straight sword to the gargoyle flame spear, and basically back and forth. The gargoyle flame spear is good in a lot of instances, but the straight sword, so like long swords, they're just good always. Like, there's not a lot of times where you're being like, oh man, this stupid straight sword got me killed because its moveset is crap. Like, you're almost never gonna say that. And then spears are good, but when you're dealing with guys that have shields, they like just recoil straight off, and it just is obnoxious. So that's that ladder I was telling you about. And as soon as you go there, you go this way, and you're going to find this little fly ambush and a shriving stone. So it's actually not really even worth it. But that ledge right behind me is where we climbed up the ladder to get the Titanite Slab. So it all kind of ties back into this area. So once you climb that ladder from the lower area, you can climb and fall down right to here. And once you fall down right to here, you can continue on with the rest of this whole DLC. So as you go down there's going to be some followers. And you're going to have to fight them. So one with a saber and one with just a torch. And man, this is not going well for me. Good God. This dude's just swinging around wildly. He's got forever stamina. Yeah, followers are like all well and good, but I feel like they just, when they just have so much damn stamina, there's not enough downtime in between the attacks. You just get ganked. So you hop down on this little ledge, surf your way down, and then the point of progression is straight. So that's the way that you want to go if you want to just progress, and then you'll kind of jump down right here. But if you do a little bit of exploring, you'll find an item back this way. And the item is large soul item. So not the best item, but still an item. More souls than you had, so still rewarding the exploring. So you can go, you make the little jump down, and there's going to be a bunch of like jacked up, dead, like half dead corvians, and then the little spider, drowned spider things. Which I never noticed on my first couple of playthroughs through this, were the little drowned spider things. I don't know if they added those after, but I don't know, they're there. So those like half dead guys really don't do a lot. They're not a real threat. You can just walk right by them. And then over here you're gonna get your first introduction to a Corvian Knight. The Corvian Knights can be really brutally hard, or they can be easy. It all depends. I've spent enough time fighting these that they're usually not a problem for me anymore. I'm like pretty calm around them. But they can get you with those claws, and those claws do bleed. If they get you caught up in their little weapon art, which is like a crazy Berserker Barrage kind of Marvel vs. Capcom deal. So pretty much at this point, you can get those claws later too, which is nice. So you're gonna get climb the ladder, get the soul item, and then you have a friendly Corvian right over here. And the friendly Corvian is he'll tell you a little bit about what's going on here. So more lore. So basically, the painting goes through a fire cycle, much like the world does, where it rots and then it burns away. So the rot is basically the flame fading, and then you need to burn it away and make a new painting. So, you know, they're stuck in a fire cycle just like we, the rest of the world is. And so pretty much, Lady Friede wants the flame to fade, or the rot to set in, and just kind of let everybody do their thing. And you want the opposite of that for reasons unknown. Basically, you're just going through and exploring because this is a video game and that's what you do. But yeah, so you're gonna kill people that are probably seeking similar things than you that you have no business killing. However, video game. So cruise around in the same path that I took, and you will get up to this little mountain. This stupid guy's pushing me. I don't know how many people have been pushed off the ledge by him, or like a ledge by one of those guys. Gotta be at least one. So there's a little jump right here, pretty sure. Yep. So you make this little jump, and then you can go into that house. And then there's another jump. I do not know what's going on with these tall, gross fuckers, but... So right over here is a little porch, and you make this jump, and you'll get the crow's talons. Crow quills, my bad. So the crow quills are a like a rapier and like 4 or 5 little daggers fanned out in your hand like a claw sort of weapon. And you can throw the quills, and you can use the claw as like a little slash attack. It's a pretty cool weapon. But I'm not going to use it because my character is not really spec'd for it, so. But usually whenever DLCs come out, you see a lot of PvPers using like the new weapons, because you get a little bit of an advantage with them, because a lot of times, you know, knowing what you're dealing with, like the movesets that are available, that's a lot of the game right there, is just knowing what to expect and what not to expect. So as you go up this hill, you're going to see another Corvian Knight, and this one has the Crow Quills weapon. At least a cooler version than the ones that you would be using, because this one, when he throws the daggers, does a pretty substantial amount of damage, whereas the other ones that you throw do not. But with this guy, just have a decent shield and, you know, attack them when you can, and you're going to have an easy time with them. They're not that bad when they're by themselves. There's a part later that I did not get to, actually, now that I'm thinking of it. So I might add it in after. Where there's a little church, and you got 2 of them at the same time, or maybe even 3. I can't remember, but it's a pretty rough fight unless you cheese them out with like rapport, which I totally will do, because fighting 2 of them at the same time is like, I don't know, not really interesting, just kind of annoying. So now I'm a little lost, so I'm gonna probably do a lot of wandering around, but pretty much you gotta just kind of run around on these roofs until you find the path of progression, which is not necessarily awesome. I'm pretty sure the path of progression was the part right behind me. This house that I'm looking at, on the roof of it, there's like a little ladder I can climb, and that's where I need to go. So, yeah, we're gonna go there eventually. Right now, I'm just wandering because I'm lost. Because I don't know, I can't make heads or tails of this place usually at first. I've never gone through this place and not gotten, like, completely lost at some point. Because this town's full of doors that only open from one side and all sorts of other stuff, so, you know, there's that. Really? He's gonna peck me? Weird-ass corvians with some weird shit growing out of their tails. Their butt sacks or whatever. So yeah, you're going to want to wander around on these roofs because there are a few good items on there. I think the crow talons, or the crow claws, are going to be up here. Not up here, but you know what I mean, on these roofs. Probably right there, on that roof across from me, which I think I should go to. I'm going to try to figure out how to get there. So down here is a shortcut. So that's one of the doors that just wouldn't open from the other side. And you open that up and you can head over here. You're going to go over here, and there, I think, there's no item. So you go along this perimeter wall, and then there's a little bridge that gets onto this roof. And you got these guys. Deal with them. And there's an item that I'm walking away from for some reason. And there's a crystal lizard over there. I don't know what it was. Probably twinkly titanite or something I don't really need because I can buy like literally all the upgraded material. Totally missed the crow claws like an idiot. Think I remembered it just now. No. I think I'm just so lost that I forget. And I forgot that those were up there. So now I'm just gonna go along here to the path of progression. I'm pretty sure I get those claws later, so no worries. But that's where they are. And I just realized I done goofed. So lost. So you want to get into that churchyard because, you know, for some reason you can't climb over that spiky fence with your armor on because, you know, you get hit with swords and shit and that doesn't kill you, but climbing that fence will surely undo you. It's not even a tall fence either. Like, that would take, like, what, 10 seconds to climb up that little ledge on the wall. It's ridiculous. I just wish that they made little impassable walls actually something that your character wouldn't be able to pass, but, you know, whatever. That's more of a video game nitpick than a Dark Souls nitpick. Because a lot of times in video games you just don't have the ability to do things that a normal human would do. Which, you know, is good and bad because a lot of times you can do all sorts of really over-the-top stuff. And you can't, that you wouldn't be able to do as a human. But totally normal stuff, you're like, nope, can't do it. Alright, so found the lizard. Will I get him? Oh, he rolls. Oh, he rolls like those big old he looks like those big lizards, the ones that turn into dragons. I wonder if those are like baby ones of, because he was just rolling like them, or maybe they just stole the character model from that. That's really interesting. I never noticed the similarity in their looks until like just that moment. So here I am, completely lost still. And yeah, I think I end up trying to jump onto this little roof or something. Just, oh, I'll try it again. That'll change it. Alas, that is not the case. So, yeah, good stuff. It's nice to be lost in a walkthrough, right? That instills confidence. Now, this is typically, I don't like this DLC very much, so I usually just don't do it. Especially this area, because I don't really play with a lot of dex weapons. And yeah, I think I just noticed all the items that I missed, so now we're gonna go get them. Pretty much the only thing I get from this DLC are the champion's bones, because I want the arena sometimes. But at this point, like I don't really PvP as much, so it's not, you know, a huge concern. Like Dark Souls 3 is really damn linear, and I've really played the crap out of it. So right there's the Chloro Talons, and I think I might be starting to get myself oriented to where I should be going. Right up there is a, pretty sure that's where you fought the Grave Tender. Lost my train of thought. Oh well. So, yeah, Dark Souls 3 is really linear, and I just don't really, there's not a lot of surprise anymore. A lot of times I'll, you know, give my friends the game, like when Steam was having a pretty good sale, and they weren't really, you know, they wanted to, but they never really wanted to spend the money on it. I would just go and gift them it. Now that you can't keep gifts in your inventory anymore, though, that like it really sucks, because I used to I'd stock up during the sale and then just like give people games throughout the year, and now I can't save it in my inventory, so screw that. You know, he's missing out on a lot of money there, Steam. But I guess they did it so that people can't sell the keys. So right over here, you see that Corvian? I'm really surprised he didn't attack me there, because that crystal lizard's a trap, and I totally fell for it. But he's, you know, just a irregular claw type. Nothing crazy. You don't want to fight him on the bridge, because he'll probably knock you off, and then you're gonna have to go through everything again. But as you can see, they can swing forever. Like, they just don't really run out of stamina, and that's it's a little annoying and ignorant. And then this is the tower that I don't want to jump down. Don't do it. Yeah. It's like cursing past Steve right now for setting myself up there. Thought I was going to jump down. So here's the area of progression. This is that church that I was telling you about. If you go in through those little windows over there, you'll fight a few of those corvians, the knights, and you will also unlock that gate to the cemetery, which is a little shortcut there. So there's some trees over here, and then there is a fight with Vilhelm. So he's got a greatsword, which is really easy to parry if he's one-handing it, because it's just, I don't know, it's just really predictable. So he's got the Onyx Blade. The Onyx Blade's really good for a Pyromancer build, particularly. It does. It's pretty much the best melee weapon you're gonna have. I don't know about any of the newer ones from the DLC, but as of right now, that's the one that I use with my Pyromancer, because it's just good, and it looks really cool. Man, that dude just PizzaSlayer, sweet name. So this dude, yeah. So when you kill him, you get the Onyx Blade, and then you can find his armor set later. So right now I'm just switching over to my spear, but now I'm fat rolling, so I gotta drop my shield. Still fat rolling. Oh god, why have the fates betrayed me? So now I'm just switching over to something I know I'm not going to fat roll with. And the Leo ring, so I can do a little extra damage. And so in this room there's a contraption, which you got the contraption key to. So right now I'm just going to try to find that, and maybe get to the next bonfire before this dude shows up. But we shall see. Probably not, because I couldn't remember where it was. If I remembered where it was, I probably would have... there it is. So, here he comes. I saw his life bar. And you have to wait for that bookcase to fall to the right. So, he just set up parried me right there. Pretty standard shit, but I fell for it hook, line, and sinker. And he just, like, roasted me with a ton of health. Like, he's got all the, you know, he's got Tears of Denial on right now, and yeah, he's just gonna punish the shit out of me for everything that I do. So basically now I'm just panicking. I'm just trying to get to the bonfire, but it clearly doesn't work. So that's that. I don't know how he has that much vitality to use all those weapons, but you know, and that big lump of armor. But I guess he's got it all figured out to the point where, I mean, he didn't really roll or anything, so I guess, I don't know, he might be overweight. So here's the run back, and pretty much the path I should have taken to begin with. Now that I know how to get here, like, it was pretty quick, but usually the process of getting lost is gonna get you. So there's a woman over here you talk to, and then you go out this balcony where I died, and that's the next bonfire. And from there, this door opens from this side, but not the other side for, you know, whatever reason. I guess I couldn't reach my arms through the bar and make it work, because literally all I did was fucking push it, but hey, whatever. Little details like that, man, make me butt mad to the extreme, because they're so good with so many other little details, but then, like, stuff like that, they're just like, oh well, whatever, nobody pays attention. People pay attention. I'm people. So now we're gonna go up into these hills and mountains and stuff, and it's gonna be like follower town again. which I don't know why I tried to rapport. Oh, I guess it did work. Maybe that first one was just glitched. So you can rapport them, which is, that's good news. Because these guys can get really aggravating. Yeah, that first guy must have been glitched, the first one I tried to rapport. And that's funny how that happened the first time I tried it, and then it just didn't work. So you just pretty much go through, go to the left, clear out these guys, and then you're gonna find random items kind of here and there, but the next key item that you're gonna find, or item that you can only really find around here, is gonna be the follower torch. So it's a torch, but it does that fire breathe attack, but it weighs a lot more than the normal torch, so it's not as where the hell did this guy come from? Yeah, it weighs a lot more than the normal torch, so it's not like a strict upgrade. So a lot of times you're just gonna have the normal torch, and carry it. I've never seen anybody use the follower torch. Man, I'm getting my ass beat right now. What the fuck? So yeah, you can see how like just two of these guys can be real trouble if you're I don't know what the hell. Oh yeah, I know what I was trying to do. I was trying to weapon art, but I had the parry shield on instead. So that explains the parry whiff, because that was weird. So in any case, yeah, 2 of these guys can be trouble. 4 of these guys is not great. I mean, if you're fighting 5 or 6 of them at the same time, man, just run away. Like you need to split them up, and you got to divide and conquer, because it's gonna be real bad when they finally like, look at it, it's just ridiculous. Yeah, sure, I'm playing a little sloppy, but it's just like constant barrage of attacks. You hit like 8 or 9 times. They just swing way more than you can, and you can swing a lot in this game. It's not like Dark Souls 2 where you swing like 2-3 times and then you're like running out of stamina. So right over here is the follower shield. And that guy, I guess, was screeching to his buddies. Not really sure. But there's a lot of pack enemies in this game. In this DLC. Like, basically, if it's not a Millwood Knight, it's gonna travel in a frickin' pack. Oh man, I ran all the way around right into it. It's good stuff. So this DLC, it's full of, like, I guess, interesting enemy interactions, but I really just don't like the amount of enemies they throw at you, and then they just hit you with a lot of teamwork. So soloing through this is just obnoxious, in my opinion. I just don't like it. So you head on this way, and this should be the path for progression, and there's going to be that busted up bell. So I think what they did lore-wise is they took the bell, because they have a bell of awakening just like the normal world does, and they tore it down and broke it, so that Ash can't come around. And that's just Sister Friede and Father Ariandel like colluding to break the cycle there. Which, I don't know, could be good or bad, I guess. I don't really know. I don't have any, I don't have enough lore knowledge to speculate, but it's a nice, neat little detail that people can infer things from. And a drop. And it leads you into this shit show of a nightmare over here. There are a bunch of Millwood Knights, and one with like the Earthshaker club, or the just basically the stuff that keeps coming down underneath me. And so far I'm lucky, it's only one of them really giving me... Oh, I don't have any FP. Rep. So, this is, as you can tell, really good. definitely a position you want to be in, always. But we'll get them. These guys are so mobile for how big they are. So don't run out of FP, kids. It's a bummer. This dude probably would have been dead by now if I just would have reposted him. These dudes have a pretty big chunk of life. And right over there is a tree that's kind of falling. Let's see if I push it over. Yep. So this is the next shortcut that you unlock. And that's going to lead you to that room next to the bonfire with the one-way door that the girl was hanging out in. So now that we're at the bonfire, we're just going to reset our Estus and then move along once we adjust our rings a bit. So I definitely don't need the Leo ring if I'm not using the spear. Like, I do have a poke, but it's not worth having a ring slot to use it sometimes. Whereas the spear, you know, it's always. So here I am looking like a boss with my 3/4 sleeves, and we're just gonna go probably over this log, yeah. So we're gonna go over the log, and then we're gonna tackle these Millwood Knights because they're gonna die. They got cool weapons, and we want them. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna go kill them, take their shit. So you want to climb up this way and take this guy by surprise, because otherwise he'll drop down and he's just another guy to fight. And he's not that bad that you can't just get him real close like this. You want to watch out for his ooh, that was close. He slams his hammer into the ground and then he pulls it up, much like there's an enemy in Dark Souls 1 that does that. So that makes a return, and it does some real good damage. So that guy way in the distance, he's the one that's doing those little quakes to me. And honestly, you want him to just keep doing that while you avoid. Oh god! And I did exactly what I. So you don't want this to happen. You don't want to get so close that you aggro this guy too, because then you gotta run away, split him up, and then hopefully he does what he's doing again right there. Man, I am playing like such crap right now. Oh god. So you want to separate these guys as much as possible. You watch out for the quake effect while you're on the cliff there, because it'll send you flying and knock you down. So I think the axe right here that he's using is called Earthseeker. It's it's a big giant axe, right? What's not cool about that? So pretty much it's really easy to backstab this guy. You just got to be real mobile with it, and then because they were separated and his tracking got him to where he is, but he didn't really do a whole lot with it. You can now fight them separately, and they're a little easier that way. There we go. I don't know why it's like I just wasn't getting it. I had to get good, and right now I'm not good, but I'm okay, I guess. I'll get it done. So once you kill these guys, haha, forgot about that. There you go. Easy button. So once you kill these guys, you can go get the items that they were guarding. And these guys drop heavy gems, which is nice if you're making a strength build, which is normally what I use. So that could be part of the reason why I'm not doing so hot. I usually like to clobber people with that big ignorant club, or the great club, aptly named, because I think it's great. So that's the Earthseeker. That's that big giant double-bladed axe that you saw that other guy using, and There's items all around. So there's another one to the left. So soul item, nothing crazy. But so really, just come here, deal with that aggravation to get Earthseeker. So if you don't need Earthseeker, don't even bother. It's not worth the time. So now you want to go up this way. We're going to kill this guy and we're going to kind of make our way right. We're going uphill. So the whole trend here is that we're just going to do our best to go as uphill as possible. So there's going to be a lot of followers that are just sitting around waiting to ambush you. Once one of them starts attacking you, they'll all kind of group up and do the mean things to you. So you have to go to the left onto this ridge to, no, not ridge, it's like a switchback, I guess. But that's not important details. So you go up this way, and there's going to be wolves around here. So you got to fight these stupid guys. And hopefully they don't knock you off the cliff, and then they just jump off the cliff instead. But sadly, he didn't jump off the cliff to the point where he died, so he'll be back. Awesome. That was, so the one that jumped off the cliff howled, so now I'm going to deal with every damn wolf that's in this area. And there's nothing you can do about it, really. Just gotta kind of, hopefully they fly off the cliff like that. Or to the point where they can't find you again. That's good enough too. I mean, it's good to get souls, but whatever gets them the hell out of your way is really the ticket there. So if you go to the left, you're gonna run into one Millwood Knight, and I think he has the Quakestone hammer. Yeah. So he's got his little bazooka, and he's got his red eyes, so do not underestimate him. He hits like a tank, but you can kind of stagger lock him a little bit like I did, and that actually wasn't too bad. Caught him while he was switching weapons. Whew. Man, I have like no shortage of life either. Like I'm in like 1800 territory, like high 17s. And yeah, he almost killed me with like 3 hits, so these dudes hit super hard. And I'm wearing pretty good armor. Maybe not the best armor for dealing with these guys, but it's pretty good. So with these guys, usually what I like to do is run past them. I think I'm going to try to fight them a little bit, but I'll probably end up running past them eventually because it's just like... The one guy is bad enough, but you get the bow covering him, and then it just gets like, it's just ignorant to a point where I don't like it. So usually I'll just kind of head this way. I'll grab this item, which is a large Titanite shard, totally not fucking worth it. And then this tree right here, you knock it down. That's the next shortcut. And then I wonder what that message says. I should have read it. I have regrets. So now you head up into here, and this is the next area that you're going to progress to. And so the thing about this area is it's full of those stupid flies, and it introduces, the flies have this grab attack. I'm pretty sure they're weak against fire, so that's why I switched to the spear. But they have this really ignorant grab attack, and they can put those like leeches on you or little maggots or whatever that make you get bleed. So this right here, this item, it's a trap. I think it's rubbish or a fading soul or some. Just don't get it, because one of these guys drops down on you and does a lot of damage. So that item right there, as tempting as it is, like must get the shiny, don't do it. It's not worth it. That much I remember. So that spit attack that they have, if they hit you with it, it's gonna get you with leeches. So you don't want to get hit with it. So there's a couple of things you need to do in this area. There's a statue. Well, there's not a statue. There is a hand crank. Looks like a wheel for a boat. You're going to turn it, and that's going to bring the statue that's next to Lady Friede back. See? I got those stupid leeches on me now. And it builds up bleed really fast. So, as you can see, it's been like 3 seconds. Already got 1 blood loss. So it's good to get, like I almost got another blood loss right there. So it almost caused me to bleed twice in like, I don't know, maybe 10 seconds, which is pretty ignorant. So right here is a illusory wall. Normally you would find it by the other way, trying to escape these freaking flies down here. There's a lot of flies. I do not stand and fight these flies. There are just entirely too many, and then they just go and, you know, jack you up. So what I do is I take advantage of the way this game is programmed, and I try to use my iframes on that crank. But first I wanted to go and open this illusory wall and get this crystal lizard. So get you some twinkling titanite, and then right over here is a path to the top of where you fought the champion gravetender, the champion's gravetender, and then there's a Pyromancer's Parting Flame, and then there's an NPC invasion that you get. The NPC invasion, when you kill him, you get the that's Wilhelm set. And now I'm playing fast and loose right now. I'm just trying to get this crank going because I don't want to come back down here and have to do this again. So the fact that you have iframes when you do that, too easy. Just run over, do it, and then I'm gonna run away and bone home probably. Find a safe place and just get out of here, because all the rest of the stuff that you find here is like, it's not great loot. Like, none of it is really worth it. So, yep, pretty much running for this middle blood gem. Alright, that is the notable loot that's down here. All the rest of it is useless. So you can run along this perimeter like I am and find the stairs up, and that will help you out with you know, being able to bone home. Or you can run along and then there's a shortcut to the next bonfire. Not the next bonfire, but the bonfire where Lady Friede is. There's a door. Yeah, I almost went for the shiny. And the shortcut's this way, pretty sure. I'm going to do a little exploring and find it, because otherwise I'm going to have to go through like everything to get back here, as opposed to just walk down some stairs. So right over here, climb these stairs up. You know, open this door and you're going to get to the church bonfire again. And then you can go back down and do that invasion. The invasion's worth doing if you're a pyromancer. If you're not a pyromancer, it's a cool interaction. Like, you know, it's an NPC invasion, so it's more content, which is good. Like, that's probably why you did the DLC, to get more content. So, also cool stuff. Like, cool stuff's cool. So basically, you go over there, drop down, and take the path that I'm taking, and you run away from the flies. Ooh, I lied. Let's take the path that I'm taking, run away from the flies, torch yourself up when you get a chance, and then you can put your silver cat ring on, and then you can start dropping down these areas more carefully than I am. I think I'm just at the point where I'm like, alright, let's go, let's get this over with. This fighting the followers always puts me in kind of a foul mood. Just don't like them. Even with the amount of mobility you have in this game, it's never enough. And then the loss of poise, or the old poise systems, it makes fights like that way less fun. Instead of like swinging your super ignorant giant sword, or just any sword that you have, through them and cutting them down because you have heavy armor, and they don't, it turns into, oh look, I got, you know, freaking, I just get stun locked because my armor is useless. So right there was the Pyromancer's Parting Flame, and then you get the Livid Pyromancer Dunnell. You fight him. He's got I don't know, maybe a washing pole, or maybe it's the Chaos Blade. I don't know. But either way, it's a pretty long katana, and he's got some pretty rad Pyromancer gear on. It's all cool looking. And he does this, that pyromancy where he kind of shoots up the ball and it shoots at you, kind of like the other pyromancy, the little witches in the Smoldering Lake, they do that. So it's a pretty cool little pyromancy. It's not like game-breakingly good, but it's just a neat little thing you can do. So fighting him's like fighting like a pyromancer that has like tons of life. That just isn't really that good. And especially if you can get him into like a little healing cycle. But like all NPC invasions, he's really just predictable. So at the end, that's what kills him. So at this point, there's no way to get out of here other than to Homeward Bone. And they gave you some Homeward Bones, so unless you discarded them, you know, you got nothing else to do here. So I go to the Shrine Bonfire because I know that Lady Friede's going to kill me because this boss fight is easily harder than the Storm King one. The Unnamed King and the King of Storms fight. It's probably the hardest fight I've had or in this game right now. It's pretty ridiculous. And it has 3 phases because fuck you, that's why. So yeah. In my opinion, they should have just had 2 phases and they should have just mixed the first phase. Like just got rid of it entirely. Because it's like the first phase is super easy. The second phase it's sort of interesting, but it's also super easy because all you do is you just fight Father Ariandel, and he's just weak to everything. So they have the same health bar, so you just fight him, and then they somehow both die. So I'm gonna shut up and let you listen to this.
Friede to me, please. Kannst du noch see the flame flickering once again? She would charge. I can see it, feel it.
He is one ugly dude. So, the concept of this character, this boss, super cool. And I think the execution of this fight, the first phase, I like it. It's really easy, but it's not that bad. I feel like an extended first phase with the second phase would have been good. Or if she was the way that she is in the second phase, in the first phase where it's just a duel, like a one-on-one, that would have been really good. But the way they did it is the way they did it, so. And this fight's not unwinnable by any sense of the word when you're playing by yourself. But I don't find it fun to solo this fight ever. So she turns invisible, and then she'll catch you with that, and I have yet to figure out how to frickin' dodge that. Like, you'll see she catches me with it damn near every time, and there's just nothing I can do about it, really. Like, you listen, you can hear a drag, but you never know which way to dodge. And she always seems to catch me. So it's a cool little thing, but the problem is she just turns invisible a lot, and it's just like, oh, this is annoying. And there's no footsteps or footprints like in the Priscilla fight, which is why the Priscilla fight, like her turning invisible, was like really tolerable. So the fact that there are no footprints in the snow in this like super, like everything else about this game looks awesome. Like they totally have the technology to do it, but they didn't, and I don't know why. Because then that would have given you more to go off of than sound. And don't get me wrong, sound's not bad. Like sound cues are cool, but the yeah, footsteps and footprints. You already solved this fucking problem. Like sometimes you don't need to reinvent the wheel. I don't think anybody's ever going to complain about the first phase of a 3-phase fight being easy, especially when the third phase is so damn ridiculous. So he flips out, does his thing. And because she's unkindled, the fire heals her. Also, he just poured like Estus everywhere, I guess. So, and away we go. So now this is phase 2. I think her moveset now is probably how phase 1 should have been. But the primo strategy for fighting them at this point is you want to attack him because he's weak to everything. He bleeds super quick. Like I just did 3,000 damage to him, which is a very significant amount. You are never going to do that much damage to her. Not as fast. So instead of turning invisible in this fight, what she does is she heals. So a lot of times what will end up happening is you'll do enough damage and she'll just heal, and then you'll just do more damage, and then she'll heal, and that's it. And she won't often... You're not often going to get ganked by both of them, other than the area effect spells that they do. Which is, you know, annoying, but it's not like, this isn't an unfun part, although this part sucks. The fact that that sends you flying and it does damage the whole time is kind of annoying. But it's not as annoying in this part of the fight. In the third part of the fight, it's like, I don't know, it's like unbearably aggravating. So pretty much you just keep beating him up until he dies, and then they miraculously both die. And then you have a... so you get a Titanite Slab for getting this far, which is good, I guess. You get a little cookie. And then I guess you think it's over. Wrong answer. Now she's super badass. So I think this should have been the phase 2 of the fight. And Father Ariandel, I don't feel like he should have been a part of the fight. So you can parry her. You want to be really careful, though. The consequences for parrying her in this phase are fairly dire, because she does a boatload of damage. So when she's like this, it's not bad. She does a lot of dodging. She gets the little trail going, but she ends up turning invisible, and then she'll shoot her area effect thing. And it's just like, oh, it's so annoying, because a lot of times she'll come out and attack you as it hits you, and it's just, you know, it all depends. Like right now she's not being so bad with her But seeing as I have no more Estus, this becomes not a very fun fight because it just turns into lots and lots of sustained perfection. It is too much, I think. 3 phases for this fight, too many. Should have been 2. Father Ariandel might have, have him raise her from the dead the first time or something, and then maybe put the arena on fire. That'd be cool. But, it's just too much to have, 3 phases. I have 15 Estus at plus 10, and it's just not enough for me. Now, that's not to say I'm, like, super good at this, but I'm experienced. I'm an experienced enough player that, this boss shouldn't be beyond my reach without a couple of summons. Like, it's to the point that if I want to beat this boss, I need to summon somebody. It's typically how it is. Because once I get to phase 3, I just don't have enough healing. And that's really the thing. Because the enemy's not, like, overall too difficult at any one time where they'll just go and mop down your whole life. But it just wears you down. It's like the Storm King fight and the dragon. It just turns into an Estus tax. The first phase is, it's not that bad, but, it takes you a little while to get into the groove of getting her easily. And then once she turns invisible, as you can, like, ooh, I finally avoided it. Good God, the first time. I just never do. And she doesn't have, like, a ridiculous amount of life. Maybe they could have had her fight like this in a separate boss room, like before. So have this one phase where she's fighting. She doesn't have a boss health bar, and she's just like an NPC. And then on phase 2, you come in, you go and you fight. So not phase 2, but once you kill her that way, you never have to kill her this way again. And then you go into a separate room, and then you get, Father Ariandel goes, he sees what you've done, he flips out like he did, raises her from the dead, and then phase 1 is when you fight both of them at the same time. So that way you can go into it with a fresh set of Estus. And then it's still a 2-phase boss fight. It's not really ignorantly hard. And they still get the 3 phases that they wanted. So, right now, I summoned the Slave Knight NPC, and he shows up in phase 2, and he'll stay until he dies. So, he's really helpful in the sense that he just distracts Sister Friede, because that's really all you need sometimes. But this phase is just basically, smack this guy up, and that's it. He's not an interesting fight. Like, the Asylum Demon is a more interesting fight than this guy. Because the way they have it is, he's the weak point, and you're basically just, unlike Sister Friede, is just an environmental hazard. So, not the most interesting thing. Totally thought I was going to get him, but I did. I thought I was going to get him before I got hit. So, when she stands up, do not go near her. Because she does that little area effect thing, and it does a lot of damage to you. And it's dark damage, and dark damage actually works really well against most armor sets in this game. There's not a lot of armor that does a lot of dark protection. But as you can see, there's, me and the dude are like wailing on her, and we're still, like, she moves around enough where, she can get both of us kind of on the ropes. not on the ropes, but like we got to keep moving. So it's oh, you can backstab her too. So you can backstab her, riposte her, anything you would be able to do a normal normal NPC, which is good because I usually like fights like this, but she just has a lot of freaking stamina, and there's not enough time where she's, you know, open. Like that time when she was open right there, she just dodged out of the way, didn't get hit, which is okay. But I'd rather she has like a dodge roll instead of a dodge dash like that. Like I like enemies that have the same rules as me. Like they have to follow the same rules, but they have to fight. They have to follow the same rules. Otherwise, it becomes like annoying. So with her, you just want to be really good with your dodging. And you can interrupt her sometimes, but there's a lot of stuff that she has hyper armor for, so you gotta be just really careful when you pick to swing as opposed to dodge. And then that dash, man, she catches me with that dash a lot, so you want to just be careful with it. A lot of times I roll, and she always catches me when I'm buffing my weapon with that. I don't know why I didn't roll. So I don't dislike any of these new attacks. I think they're good. She's just a little more aggressive than I would like in this phase. Or not more aggressive, but she just has for like infinite stamina, and it's bothersome. That looks freaking sweet. That was a really cool attack. Really like the design of her weapon, just all of it visually is just very pleasing, but it is a very annoying fight. So here we are again. I don't really recall how many times I try to fight her. It is a lot though. Or I feel like it's a lot. It's more than I usually fight any of the other bosses, and that's pretty much chiefly to do with the 3 phases. Because if it was only 2, it wouldn't be that bad. But you know, it is what it is. So pretty much, I just boned out to try to get some summon signs to show up, other than the Slave Knight, because I wanted to get a human to help me out. Because the Slave Knight's all well and good, but having a human come in and help you out is way better, because humans usually do pretty ideal amounts of damage, and the Slave Knight, he doesn't hit hard enough. But that's okay. Pretty much, I've got our number on this first phase. You know, just hit her, get the parry, hit her. So right when her arms are fully extended behind her back, and right there. Nope. So right when her arms are fully extended behind her back, I'd like the arc. Right before the weapon starts to come forward is when you want to hit the parry button. But this first phase wasn't a very big Estus tax for me this time, because I was on point with my parries, and she didn't turn invisible, catch me with any nonsense. So pretty much, you know, now he's running right into the corner, which is pretty great, because now he can't go anywhere. But it's also not great, because it's hard for me to get behind him when he turns around like that. But bleed is your friend when you're fighting this guy, because he's got a lot of life. He's got like maybe 10k, and 10k is a lot. So you can stagger him to that point, and then you can also hit him with like a critical attack. You like stab him in the face. It looks really cool. But so here I am. Like I was saying, I have 12 Estus. Not that bad. It's really good. It's ideal to getting into this phase. You want to have more than 10 for me. So I ignored the rule that I told you before, because I saw that dude use clobbering her up, and I was like, oh well, you know what? Maybe I'll get some free hits on her. And no, she got free hit on me. So pretty much she's just paying attention to me, and I'm just trying to, you know, Slave Knight's not really doing a whole lot for me right now. He'll like hit her occasionally, you know, right there. That stopped her. Her attacks did like 200 damage to her. But that's like much less than I do. But at the very least, the best part about the NPC is that when she's invisible, he knows exactly where she is at all times, which is just fantastic, because he's like your little compass. But the problem is he just keeps running into those freaking ice attacks. But because he knew where she was and she wasn't looking right at me, you know, I got a free backstab in right there. So from here on out, it's just me. I have 9 Estus. Pretty good. I've only gone through 3. You know, just math-wise, this is gonna work out for me. Because like I said, she's not terrible in this phase. I think she's really interesting in this phase. And I really wish this was a 2-phase fight without the third, because, you know, having the extra Estus just gets you where you need to be. So once you kill her, you get her soul, and I ran straight to this because I was like, what the fuck, this is new. But that's how you get to the Ringed City DLC. It's either there, or you can go through at the end, like I showed you in episode 19. So like once you get to the killing of the first flame, those are how you get to the Ring City DLC. But that's it. You can get her scythe, which is a really cool weapon, I think. And you spend 10,000 souls, or you can get you know, the flail, and that's what you can do with the souls.